This DVD has been put together to bridge a student over from knowledge towards reality. In the end, reality, like dance, has no explanation. Truth and reality are self-evident. Because our minds, through culture and teaching, have been so twisted in finding solution, it is impossible to produce good dancing which is without thought and in complete fluidity.
Then do the fish, toe, calm, shoulders. Hi, my name is Hans Laxholm, and I'd like to welcome you to Dance Academy Laxholm in Denmark and Dance Academy William and Alexandra in Italy. We first met in 1992 in London, and I realized immediately that I did not have an ordinary student in my hands. So we decided that we were going to find a system that could be maintained through the career as a youth dancer, into the amateur, and later into the professional. Today we know that this system works. William and Alexander uses these exercises as warm-up exercises. They have been split so ordinary people can do exactly the same thing. So we hope that with these exercises we are going to show you, we will share with you that fantastic time we had since 1992 up to today. And we hope that you can get the same pleasure out of these exercise drills, library of movement, as we have had. Now we come to our first exercise drill. I like to call them nonsense exercises, although that when they're put together, they will make sense. Before we start that, we have to understand what is fundamental and what is incidental. We have a fundamental need to understand what music is all about. Without the music and the understanding of how we are going to move the body relative to music, we have no chance to reach a high level of dance. So we have split it up in a simple way that ordinary people can practice and get a higher level of understanding of music. We have split it into 3 areas, and they're called the melody, the beat, and the rhythm. Now, the melody is quite simple. It is simply airflow related to the music flowing through the body while you're moving. The beat comes the same as our heartbeat. That has a more regular pace. In the waltz we have 3 beats to a bar. In the foxtrot we have 4 beats to a bar. And that makes sure that we always stay on time. Then we have the rhythm, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7. That is also a kind of beat, but it can be irregular in the bar and between 2 bars, so they knit them together. These 3 fundamental things is very necessary to understand. Now, later you're going to see William and Alexandra, how they practice their understanding of music, and I'm sure that you can practice it as well.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A little bird saw a stork standing beautifully on one leg. The little bird said to the stork, "You stand so beautifully on one leg. How do you do that?" The stork thought about it and fell over.
Posture is our second priority. After music, we must know how we line up the bone structure. Again, of course, this is related to the music, and that is why the understanding of music, when we line the body up to a piece of music and when we relax it, is most important. To do that and give you out there a way to train your body relative to the music, we have designed a very simple little tool, and we call it red, yellow, green. It is, of course, the same as a traffic light. When you're waiting in front of a traffic light, you will not start your car moving before it changes from red into yellow, and you will drive off into green. That we will demonstrate that the upper part of the body we call the red color, the center part of the body is the yellow color, and the foot is the green color. Now, I'm sure you all know that when you go to a dance studio and you learn to dance, they will teach you how to move the feet, the green color, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This is, of course, a must. You must learn your footwork, and you must go through the basic technique book first before you start these exercises. But one day, when you wish to have swing, control, togetherness, well, then you're into another ball game. Then you need to be able to coordinate first the red color, the yellow color, and eventually you will move on to the foot with the green color. The same when you go sideward, red and yellow, and then you move into the green. Red, yellow, and move into the green. Now we will take that into the exercise, and we will have a look in and see how William and Alexandra are practicing this color, red, yellow, green, the way they practice in the morning.
not try to comprehend the state of dancing through knowledge only, but try to experience it through the light of insight.
We have a little drill we call the diamond. We designed it some years ago because we could get a much bigger frame when we danced. It basically means that the spine is not moving what we call natural forward and back, but it moves more in a diagonal sense. This will give you the knot will you only get through the red, yellow, green, the first dimension, but you will also maintain a bigger second dimension. There's your width. Now, what it basically means from the naturalness is that natural means that you move straight forward or straight back. You will find that you become much smaller in your hold, and therefore we move the spine diagonally to the left. It can move diagonally rightward, but we always have a slight angle in the direction where we want to move. This is indeed not natural. This is something that's most unnatural for humans that have been walking for thousands of years in this direction. Now, Alexandra and William are going to show us how they do that in the shape of a diamond and how they transfer it from the action of walking into the basic steps of the waltz and the foxtrot.
Events cannot be without principles. Principles abide in the center. Events revolve at the circumference. Use principles to deal with events.
You may well wonder what on earth I'm doing clapping myself on the leg, but it is most important that when you want to transfer yourself from the beginner stage to the competitive stage, you must learn to use the standing leg. It is not natural in the sense that you're only going to use one leg. We do actually use both legs at the time when we move. But what is most important is that the weight of your head, that's the heaviest part on your body, is staying on this supporting leg as long as possible while the free leg is moving into place. That would mean that I will, by clapping on the leg, I will demonstrate and feel that I can move the free leg, but I do not move the head weight away from the standing leg. Now we're going to see this now in certain movements from William and Alexander, and they're going to therefore transfer the same action into the basic steps.
The moment that judgment stops through acceptance of what is, you are free of the mind.
We'll now do a little drill I think is very, very effective for beginners. It's very simple if you do understand the timing relative to music. We call it yes and no. It's very simple. The man will say yes, and as usual, the girl will say no. Now, what is very important here is that this will take place at the right time. In this case, the man will have his arm in this position. He will very gently squeeze together. And before you see the arm moves in, of course I will use the red, yellow, green. For the lady's part, she will use the arms very gently in the opposite direction. Now, when a couple is dancing, you do not see this because it goes on inside the body. And the two movements, they will stay in a position where you can feel it, but you certainly cannot see it. But for beginners, this gives you very quickly a very nice frame in which you can lead the lady, and the lady has a chance of following the man. William and Alexander will now demonstrate that with some elastic bands that you more visually can see them when they stand apart, and then gently how they move it into the basic steps.
Six, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6.
When dancers are in motion to the music, they should have no knowledge, and yet they know.
Well, that may look very peculiar to you, but believe it or not, this is very, very necessary motion when we dance. We call it the bicycle, and again, without the correct timing, it is worth nothing. Done at the correct time, it is the thing that you will use for leading the lady and have the correct postural position relative to your partner. You will see William and Alexandra dance this bicycle action, and you will understand very quickly why one knee has to open up and one goes forward, so the two knees can interact. But I'm sure you will see that in the next exercise.
The important thing is to learn the lesson. Every time you lose,
I may well look that I've given in, but it's not quite true. This little exercise we're going to do is called twisting. Twisting in dance means that you've got a fixed point that something is rotating around. In this case, it is the rib cage rotating round the spine. To be able to do that, you must have your red collar and your yellow collar in position. You place your hands on the knees and you twist your rib cage round the spine. Of course, if it's not relative to music, it is worth nothing. So you will count in foxtrot 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. Now, this exercise as an individual thing is going to bring you very little. But you will find that most important when you blend it together with other exercises.
You will find a wider understanding of dancing when you break the boundary of your mind.
We have here an exercise that I find is the most odd, or certainly when from people from the outside look at it, they think to themselves, what on earth is this about? But if you dance competition, particularly 4 to 6 rounds competition, and you see the girl drop their head in semi-finals, you know that they have not quite understood that the spine must be in constant motion while you dance long competitions. Anything you hold in a fixed position for a long time, you cannot sustain. So we did this little exercise we call the fish, and it looks something like this. Foxtrot, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, when that happens, you will see all the bones are being applied through the whole of the body. And when you have practiced the twisting of the rib cage, and you practiced your bicycle, you will one day find that when you combine it, as you shall see it now, done beautifully by William and Alexandra, you will see that it is a great benefit for flexibility and beautiful dancing.
Remember to forget. The beauty of the whole is in the refinement of the parts.
Now we come to something called the box. The box as such represents the shoulders to the hips. That square box we have here is how we create internal energy. This can only be done if you have a good imagination. It's basically the mind fighting opposite of what the body is doing. For instance, if I wish to go backwards, I would say loud in my own language the word forward, forward. Now, if you're able to take that energy and feel that internal fight, you will begin to create stability. Now, Since you cannot see it, when you see William and Alexander doing this, they will use an elastic band that will be representing the mind. But do not forget to have a look at the little body movement that they will go opposite of where the elastic band is going. You can have a lot of fun with this exercise. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Thought cannot exist without consciousness, but consciousness does not need thought.
Now we come to another little drill in our library of movements, and it's called push and pull. It's actually the opposite of the internal energy. We here use our partner externally. Of course, a top-class dancer will be able to do both. In simple terms, it means that if you stand with your partner and you push your body weight towards the lady, you will eventually move her from A to B. It is also quite possible you could change the energy where you actually pull your partner and your partner would slightly resist your body movement with very soft knees and you can go back. This movement is quite important, and I believe, particularly for the beginners, that a very quick lesson in push and pull will help you dancing enormously. William and Alexander will demonstrate for you some of the reverse movements that certainly gives the beginner the most problems in the beginning of their career.
One must concentrate on the correct movements each time you exercise, lest you do them improperly and thus lose all the vital benefits of their value.
Now we'll go into a little drill to promote the third dimension. This will indeed not be possible before you have mastered timing of music, the first and the second dimension. As we know, the first dimension is height, the second dimension is width, and now you have to master the depth. To do that little exercise, you need a piece of elastic band like this. This can certainly help you to find this opposite action of what your body is doing. And you do as follow. You stand on the right leg, and when you do the red and yellow, the right hand go forward, and there's a lot of tension in the arm. The other one is quite relaxed. You now relax it. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Change leg. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you see the demonstration by William and Alexander, you will not see this action with the elastic band. But inside their body, their arms, their hands and fingers, you will certainly have this very, very similar energy running through their body. You practice it because it's very good. You don't need a partner.
Pick battles big enough to matter, small enough to win.
Now we have a simple little drill we call the PlayStation. It's quite simple. It's not just a question that you use your standing leg, but you should use the standing side. And all you do is you put your fingers on the shoulder, on the leg you stand on, and you press gently down. You maintain that pressure when you change weight, and you will then change to the other arm. And so, by the light pressure from foot to foot, then you will direct energy to the standing leg. This motion will be shown into the basic steps by William and Alexandra, and it is quite an easy exercise to do as long as you know the music.
Unity in opposition.
Now we come to two small drills that I like very much. They're probably more appreciated by top-class dancers because at that stage they have got the core line, the box, in order. It will stay in the right position at the right time. When the spine is in that position, then you can begin to play around with the limbs and elongate your arms and so many other things. In this case, I like to show you about the man's right arm. This is the ordinary position, and very often we take it towards us. No lady, no woman likes that. So all you do, you turn the palm out, and therefore you create much more space. Later, William and Alexandra will show in motion how they change this hand not to create stiffness. The same goes for the man's left arm and the lady's right hand. It's very easy to get tension and stiffness in over many rounds of dancing. So what they do sometimes, they switch them round just to release themselves from the tension. They will pivot round the thumbs, and you should see that they will do that later in their little demonstration. They will show you to the music when that happens. Now we come to the end. And this end, of course, should be the new beginning for your dancing. We have tried to put as many drills and exercises into this time available to us. And before I finish, I'd like to thank all the dancers all over the world that has been part of creating this DVD. Not forgetting all our past teachers, and also, of course, our lovely sponsor, that made it possible for us to do all this. I wish you the best of luck and see you soon.
Moments of absolute clarity. The past, the present, and the future are but one moment. Time and space, succession and extension are merely accidental conditions of thought. The imagination can transcend them and move in a free sphere of ideal existences. Things are, in their essence, what we choose to make them.